Good morning and welcome to our webinars. Does platform technology still plays a role? Hosted by Fujitsu and SUSE. We will just wait one more minute, because we are seeing that more people are dropping in, and then we will kick off the meeting. Thank you for joining.
Hello and good morning from my side. Thank you for joining our session here. You saw the title and Patricia just mentioned this. What do we mean by that? And will you get the answer? We will find out soon. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dominic.
Dominic, hold
Yeah,
on a second. Okay, have you clicked recording?
no.
Hi, Patricia. Just to confirm, it's recording already. As soon as you've hit the
Okay,
button,
thank you.
you're recording, so you're all good.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you so much. All right. So, guys, thank you for joining again. And my name is Dominik Sparer. I'm located in Stuttgart, Germany, and I'm with Fujitsu since 5 years already. Alongside with me is Alan Clark from SUSE, who is also sponsoring our session today. I'd like to thank him and his SUSE, of course, for this opportunity to talk to you today. Besides working, my life's pretty busy. My wife and I like to travel a lot. I started barista during COVID, and I like to take a lot of pictures during my spare time, as you can see here. Yeah, so now the big task starts. Technology reach to business and how it helps helping you to your journey for S/4HANA. Yeah, as you see, SAP's path to intelligent enterprise is their strategy vision and the roadmap they laid out to help businesses transform into intelligent enterprises. It's not just about implementing SAP software, but also leveraging technology and data to become more agile, efficient, and customer-centric. Many people who are coming from a technology background have been focusing on IT, and those who work more in kind of industries have been focusing on their function and more the business. In many environments, we know IT is the entity where business depend on. Now, the IT is taking a bigger and even more important footprint, where the IT is now not just a service provider to business. As a matter of fact, is one of the main and most strategic pillars to ensure the business capabilities. Coming from a technology background, we've been developing a technology-related solution with some applications, data, and capability-related add-ons, which is good, but not good enough, because today we have to play a more significant role in enhancing business capabilities. And in order to do so, we have to make sure that both pillars, IT and business, are working together. When a customer decides to complete and fulfill the transformation to S/4HANA, there are three major steps to go through. First, business process redesign. Second step is then technical migration to then third, build the intelligent enterprise or enterprise architecture. In order to become an intelligent enterprise, you need to make sure that the data is used efficiently to improve your business. The other measurement is how capable your company is to cope with the process changes needed to transform. The enterprise architecture depends on four pillars, which are application, business process, technology, and data. Here you can see a simple example on how all layers should work together in build the enterprise architecture. Technology is like the baseline that where applications and data run on. How solid your data and applications run on technology defines the capabilities. The capabilities, again, will make you and will decide how your processes will impact your people. When we do the assessment, we must start from top to bottom of the iceberg. Talking about people and people's interaction is defining through the processes. Solid processes at the end will depend on the capabilities you have. However, these capabilities are only limited to the way your data and applications are running on technology. Now, the beauty in our offering today is that we could help you in assessment along all these layers, starting from people up to technology. If you want to be able to fully have a successful assessment, then you must start from there. The SAP Activate Transformation Model is SAP's methodologies for implementing and adopting SAP S/4HANA. It's a structured, agile approach designed to accelerate deployments, reduce risks, and deliver business value quickly. It's not about installing software, it's about transforming the business to leverage the full potential of SAP solutions. Fujitsu has a unique solution for every single step of the way, starting with an enterprise architect workshop with our TOGAF certified engineers. Now we're heading straight to the discover phase, where SAP believes that there should be a clear business strategy that can be executed. To assist there are three different layers inside an environment where it starts from applications, people, and processes. Starting in the technology transformation pillar, SAP S/4HANA offers a suite of enterprise architect management capabilities design to help businesses understand, manage, and transform their IT landscape. Evaluate the business capabilities is the process of assessing how well the application in your IT landscape support the business capabilities of your organization. It's a critical aspect of your enterprise architect management that helps ensure that IT investments are aligned with business needs and that applications are delivering the values they are intended to. Access application dependencies refers to the ability to visualize and understand the relationship between applications within your IT landscape. Sorry. As you can tell, I'm not a native speaking English person. I'm sorry for that. So this is a crucial aspect of your enterprise architect management and provides valuable insights for various use cases. Here's a breakdown. The impact analysis, risk management, application rationalization, cost optimization, business continuity, cloud migration, and security. Explore data flow is the ability to visualize, analyze, and understanding how data moves between different applications, system, and business processes within your organization's IT landscape. It's a critical component of an enterprise architect management that provides valuable insights into data lineage, integration patterns, and potential data-related risks. Plan and model transformation scenarios means the ability to create and analyze different potential future states of your IT landscapes as part of a transformation initiative. It's a core capability for strategic planning and decision making, allowing organizations to evaluate the impact of different transformations options from committing resources. As well, the impact of your planned transformation to prepare accordingly. This was a brief walkthrough LeanIX. If you're interested to learn more, feel free to reach out to me and my team or join our regular-based boot camps. Going ahead with our business transformation and Fujitsu Signavio Process Insight workshop, a consulting engagement designed to help organizations quickly identify and address inefficiencies in their business use processes using Signavio Processes Intelligence. It's a structured, collaborative approach that combines Fujitsu's process expertise with Signavio's powerful analytics capabilities. Here's a breakdown breakdown of what it typically involves. First, identifying processes bottlenecks, understanding processes performances, prioritizing improvement opportunities, and developing actionable recommendations. Some people may ask, does it mean I have to buy a license? No. With us, Fujitsu, you could enjoy the perpetual license model, which is one-time offer for the assessment. Now coming to the preparation phase and our solution system inspection and best place. System inspection is a very easy, slim, and lovely script that any basic engineer in your environment can install. It gives you a fully 3D visibility for every application and its performance. By the way, if we talk performance, we're not talking about applications performance, but also technology performance. When we talk about the best place, it's another interesting preparation tool. Best place is from its name an AI tool that helps you find the best place for every system ID. Not only this, it helps you to give you the best place even on cloud or RISE with SAP. Now the question is, how does it decide? AI decides or makes a decision. Many of you think that the decision depends on cost factors, which is wrong. Cost factors is one of 5 requirements. That's the best place makes a decision accordingly, which are strategic requirements, like what is the level of control, what is the existing cloud strategy any company has, or what is the IT focus of business. Then non-functional requirements like what is the recovery point objective and recovery time objective, RPO and RTO, especially in banking or public. Sometimes they have a very much restricted RPO, RTO, or what is the SLA demands of their demands. Then cost factors, of course, skill set, and placement constraints. And we have good news. Best Place even could help you with RISE with SAP, as you can see here in this decision tree. Now you may ask, why Fujitsu? So system inspection and Best Place in combination with LeanIX and Signavio gives you the fully assessment you need in order to transform to S/4HANA. When we talk about capability mapping with system inspection and Best Place, you will have up to the hardware pillar, even into cloud, an end-to-end assessment to get the best data and performance out of your IT landscape. Going on with the exploration phase. One of the best and solid platform solution, which is PrimeFlex for SAP HANA, we have different flavors approaching under PrimeFlex for SAP. But as I mentioned to you before, the exploration depends on the assessment we did before. Let's get into the details before we move on to the next step. I could probably tell you that Fujitsu today is the only company who has the application-aware virtual environment. What does that mean? So many players do provide virtualization, which are virtually built on a platform and servers that consume some storage. But FlexFrame hosts all the application in the storage and start allocating resources from different pools. That could be from virtual, physical, or even in cloud to every application. Today, the FlexFrame Orchestra is the one and only real application-aware virtual environment. Think of FlexFrame as a smart IT manager for your SAP landscape. PrimeFlex for SAP Landscape is designed to simplify and accelerate the deployment of management of SAP Landscape. It is a pre-integrated and pre-tested solution that combines Fujitsu's hardware, software, and service to provide a reliable and scalable platform for running SAP applications. PrimeFlex aims to reduce the complexity and cost associated with building and maintaining SAP environments. The key points we were talking about today are business can never grow without a solid technology platform. There you got your answer. Yes, it still plays a role. Early involvement of organizational key functions and their needs are really important. An end-to-end assessment, including business and processes, choosing a technology partner who is capable to explore and execute SAP Activate, defining your target solution with all requirements considered. This is it from my side. Are there any questions? Alan, then I will move over to you. You're the moderator now.
Thank you very much, Dominic. That was great. Thank you. I will now share my screen here. Yeah, I'm just having a look here actually at, I think we've got a couple of questions. So heard about programs. We heard about programs like the seeding license and others. Is Fujitsu participating in any of these? And is it the same perpetual license that was discussed in the Signavio process workshop?
Yes, you're right by asking. So these programs you were talking about is the same for the assessment with LeanIX as well.
Great. Okay. And the second question, can system inspection also provide evaluations for both on-premises and cloud environments? Hoping this is true because this will add a lot of value as other tools are designed for software as a service.
Yes, indeed.
Great. Okay.
Thank you for the
Excellent.
question.
Good stuff. And I think the last one there, great presentation, lots of positive updates, which is, I totally agree. Today I learned that Fujitsu offers LeanIX and SAP Signavio services. Can we also use system inspection, which is a Fujitsu intellectual property with an end-to-end offering? I believe this is a unique offering that can enrich even SAP LeanIX, if I understand that correctly. So can they also use system inspection?
Yes, he nailed completely our approach. This is the end-to-end solution we were just talking about. Thank you.
Wonderful.
For your question.
Excellent. Yes, thanks for those questions, and do keep them coming. So thank you very much, Dominic. I will not take up too much of everyone else's time. So just in the same style as Dominic there, my name's Alan Clark. I'm the SAP Alliance Director for EMEA North and the Middle East here at SUSE. I've been here 13 years, 11 of that in the SAP ecosystem, so very much well embedded in it. As you can see, they're similar to Dominic, like I'm sure we all are. Lots of things to keep us interested and occupied outside of work. Sport for me, football, Formula One. Love a good film. Love the theatre. Love a beer, and perhaps every so often a glass of a very nice single malt whiskey, which there, of course, is a Redbreast, a lovely one from Ireland. If any of you are into whiskey, do try it at some point. And of course, yes, love spending time with the family. Okay, so that's me. I just wanted to talk a little bit, following on from what Dominic's talked about here today, a little bit about where SUSE is today in 2025. Hopefully, everyone on the call will be familiar with SUSE. We are a 34-year-old Linux company, born out of Germany, which is where the relationship with SAP started in '99, and we became their Linux development platform of choice in 2006. HANA was developed on SUSE, and that gave birth to SUSE Linux for SAP applications, which is the most widely deployed underlying Linux OS for SAP environments today. We continue to develop that product actively with SAP and more besides, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Excuse me. So really, we have 4 pillars to SUSE today in 2025, because we're always trying to adapt to support customers out in the marketplace from an infrastructure perspective. And we never really go above the infrastructure layer. That's where we specialize. It's where we sit. It's what we're good at. And we focus on that for our customers. Everything else up the stack is provided by our partners, such as Fujitsu, and everyone else all the way up the SAP stack through database to application layer and front end. So obviously the first of the 4 pillars and the most established is Linux, which continues to be SUSE Linux Enterprise Server and the same, but for SAP applications. We also have our IBM Power as well as our x86 architecture variants there, covering all areas of underlying enterprise Linux for our customers. About 3, maybe even nearly 4 years ago, I think now, we acquired Rancher, a Kubernetes company, and that platform has continued to thrive under the SUSE ownership. And I'll talk more about that in a moment, because we had some very exciting news on that a couple of weeks ago at our technical conference, SUSECon, that happens annually. This was in Orlando. We have our edge or embedded device division, which really gave birth to our micro OS, our immutable micro OS, which is essentially a stripped back version of SLES, still fully enterprise ready and supported. But the idea is that that micro OS is used by companies who manufacture edge devices, like ARM, for instance, where you've got not edge in the same terms that SAP use edge, but edge as in devices that are out in the field communicating back to centralized systems, and that's our edge offering. And then again, last year we announced our AI platform. It's not AI as in what you're used to, for instance, from the likes of Azure and SAP themselves and things like Gemini. This is a platform, an AI platform for our partners to build their own AI solutions and offerings on. But that's really where SUSE sits today in simplistic terms. But obviously today we're going to keep it SAP centric, as well as obviously covering everything from a platform perspective. And on that note, I'm sure we're all familiar with the fact that SAP themselves are moving from this traditional model of on-premises, your OS, your hardware, your database and your applications, your ERP suite as the stack, over to a cloud-based model, a more cloud-native model, and of course with the introduction of SAP's BTP, Business Technology Platform, which is of course represented for the 4th generation of their ERP suite, S4 HANA, and of course has become more and more prominent with the advent of RISE, SAP RISE. So SUSE continues to match that in terms of support for the platform, or providing the platform to then build the stack on top of. So of course our SLES for SAP applications, as I've already talked about, our high performance optimizing SAP applications OS, Linux OS, that continues to be developed, as I said, and we're now staring down the barrel of version 16, which will be out later this year. Version 15 continues to be fully supported and will be for many years, but 16's about to hit a little later this year, in a few months' time. But as I've said, we had this extremely exciting announcement at SUSECon, and that's for SUSE Rancher, our Kubernetes platform for SAP applications. So similar to the OS, but actually a Kubernetes-based offering for SAP customers. And I'll explain why this is relevant to customers, SAP customers, in a minute. So I'm sure you're all aware of SAP PIPO, Process Integration, Process Orchestration, a middleware solution from SAP that essentially controls the data, the sensitive confidential data, or the key data that a company holds, and acts as an agent for the distribution of that data to systems, whether they're SAP or non-SAP systems. That PIPO offering will be going end of standard support, as you may know. SAP have announced that by the end of 2027. As if SAP customers haven't got enough to think about with moving from ECC to S4, whichever route they're taking for that. The same deadline is shared by the end of standard maintenance for PIPO. So this is affecting a good third of enterprise SAP customers out there today. And it's yet another problem they have to solve. So I'm just going to very briefly talk about that problem, where customers have got to go, and how SUSE supports that. So we all know that customers are moving to the cloud, okay, whether that's to the hyperscalers, to Azure, AWS, Google, or whether they're going to Rise. But some companies are in highly regulated industries, and the confidential data they retain may, at a moment's notice, if they are in a highly regulated industry, for instance, need to be able to show where that data resides. And the way forward, if you're going to the business technology platform, you're going S4, whether you're going Rise or not, is Edge Integration Suite. That is the replacement, if you like, the successor to PIPO that SAP have brought in. So it's part of the business technology platform. So if you're already on that, or you're going to that, you will have access to Edge Integration Suite. And if you're in a highly regulated industry where data sovereignty is potentially an issue, then you'll need to potentially look at running an on-premises system instance of Edge Integration Cell, which is the on-premises agent that links into Edge Integration Suite, and retain that data locally, whether it's on premises or in a private cloud, and allow that data to be communicated out to the cloud-based, cloud-native applications. So in order to run Edge Integration Cell, it will need storage, database, and networking components. It will need a Kubernetes platform. It will need an OS or a micro OS, and I already talked about our micro OS for edge devices, but it's also the same thing that can be used here. And SUSE Rancher for SAP applications, we've announced this and brought this out again in order to try and help SAP Basis team solution architects sleep a little better at night, knowing that if they are going down the route of Edge Integration Cell and they do need to retain instances on premises or in a private cloud, then this is what they'll need component-wise in order to make it run. Now, we also appreciate that the world of containers and Kubernetes is new to many in the SAP space. We've been working with it, of course, for a number of years, and we bring a packaged offering for customers to help them solve this problem, because otherwise you'd have to go off and find a number of fairly small but vital components when we talk about the database, storage, and networking components that are Kubernetes compliant, if you like. We've curated our application collection here of all the components that customers need to run Edge Integration Cell in one package, and they can run that without issue, fully supported from SUSE, with the added benefits now of security in there, of observability, which is essentially monitoring, and the option of virtualization if that's required. So that's all packaged up in SUSE Rancher for SAP applications. I'm not going to go into great detail about it now. I just wanted to kind of place it off the back of what Dominic's been talking about. And really, it drives home the fact that, as Dominic said, definitely platform technology plays a major role. I was in an event yesterday talking to many SAP customers, and it just proved to me, I was talking to them about a number of things, including this, that each customer is different. Each customer is unique. Where they're going is unique. What shape their SAP environment is going to take in the future is unique. And each one has their own specific requirements, dependent on the business they're in, the way they run their business. And so therefore, you do need to, as Dominic said, need to speak to technology partners who understand what you're trying to do, understand what's required in order to make that work, because a lot of SAP customers don't necessarily and can't possibly retain all of the knowledge about the possible solutions that are out there that are going to help them achieve what they want. So very much so, platform technology still plays a role, and will continue to do so, because we still play a role even if a customer's going to Rise, for instance, wholly. If they're going wholly to Rise, you think, well, that's a business transformation as a service provided by SAP, and everything supported by SAP. All the customer has to do is use the ERP suite. But if you're in a highly regulated industry, then even if you're running Rise, you would need to look at something like Edge Integration Cell in an on-premises private cloud scenario that communicates and serves and feeds your Rise environment. So just in case anyone's worried about certifications, as always, SUSE are extremely strict around the area of certifications, like we are with our OS. Every service pack we release is certified by SAP before it's released. And it's the same with Kubernetes, because there are versions of Kubernetes, and at every state, at every release, 131 is coming up, we'll be certified with that. Rancher, just like our OS, is certified for use with that Kubernetes version by SAP. Of course, if you don't need to run, if you're not in a highly regulated industry, then you can, of course, use a hyperscaler. If you're using the marketplace, for instance, AWS or Google or Azure, you can use their Kubernetes services. But it's only if you're looking to run on premises or in a private cloud, you would need to look at something like SUSE Rancher. So also just wanted to announce as a final thing, and this was also released at SUSECon, and already we're talking to customers about this, tailored services, predefined consulting services that we've released now as packages for customers who are either looking to run Rancher for Edge Integration Cell, to have basically an architecture review and a health check, or of course with the advent of the advanced network generation interface, the new system replication tools coming out from SAP, and the upgrade you need to go through to start utilizing that. We've got tailored service packages there, which is something we haven't had before. Of course, if you're covered by a partner or one of our partners, then that's fantastic, but it's only for customers who perhaps may want to take advantage of this. And again, yesterday, I was talking to some customers who are delighted to hear that we're offering these services. There's a link there. You'll get access to the slides, and you can find out more about them. Lastly, just wanted to say I've kind of covered SUSE Rancher at a very high level this morning, but I'll be doing a more detailed look at it on a webinar that we're running on the 8th of April. So do feel free to register for that if you're around or if you're interested. But at that point, I'll just ask if there are any questions from a SUSE perspective, or indeed from a Fujitsu side of things.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, Alan. Thank you very much. And also, Dominic, thank you very much for your presentation. Indeed, we have two questions here now, more SAP related for you, I think. If a customer is going to SAP RISE and they are currently using SAP PIPO, do they have to use SAP BTP Edge Integration Suite in an on-premise scenario?
No, as I say, it's only if you're in a highly regulated industry where data sovereignty is a real issue that you would potentially need to look at that scenario. Or in the instance, there's another reason for it. At SUSECon, we're having a conversation with a very large American automotive manufacturer, and they said theirs is not so much from a confidentiality perspective and a data sovereignty issue, but the reason they are looking at running Edge Integration Suite or Edge Integration Cell on premises is because the customer data they have and they retain for, as you all know, you can buy a car with pretty much your own spec nowadays, all ordered online. And if they had an outage from their hyperscaler about 18 months ago and their whole factory floor shut down, yes, it was for about 45 minutes, but you can imagine what that costs. And they said they just cannot afford to not be able to access that information. So if for any reason there was an outage to their cloud-based environment, they wanted to be able to have access locally and continue, make sure their manufacturing plant was only down for a matter of a couple of minutes, which is still costly, but much better than 45 minutes to an hour plus. So.
Okay, thanks. And nice to have a real life example also for this.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other one is, does SUSE offer the option of a POC for SUSE Rancher for SAP Edge Integration Cell?
Yes, indeed. Proof of concepts are actually happening at the moment. Again, strangely enough, with a couple of them with manufacturing companies in the DACH region. But they're also starting to happen in other areas. Nordics, UK, we're starting to see customers inquire about or actually put in place the process of getting a POC up and running. So yes, absolutely. And of course we appreciate this is new for everybody, or for a lot of people in the SAP area, as I mentioned. So POCs and the ability to have a POC up and running so that you can give it a full blown test before it goes anywhere near any kind of production or pre-prod, then absolutely we're delighted to entertain that, because we want to see how customers get on with it, and if there's anything else that we can help them with around it. So yes is the answer to the question, and please do contact me if that's something that's of interest.
Okay, thank you. So it looks like that we do not have any further questions. So for the audience, this is your chance to ask your question. Otherwise, please do reach out to either Ellen or Dominic for any specific questions, either more on the hardware side or on general SAP Edge integration sales topics. Otherwise,
I can see two more. I can see two more questions.
Okay.
Can Rancher be optimized for Fujitsu's Edge hardware?
Well, I don't know whether you want to take that one, Dominic, or me, but yes is the answer to the question.
I would say the same, yes, and we are already working hard on it. It's already available for you guys, so feel free to contact us. And another one, I guess Edge integration cell is now applicable on hardware providers like Fujitsu, correct? Based on your explanation, this can be very useful for certain industries that need to ensure data accessibility, if I got it right.
And you did get it right, absolutely. And I have to say, Fujitsu have been at the forefront of this in conjunction with SUSE, which really supports everything that Dominic and I have been talking about, because they've really jumped on the innovation train, if you like, with us on this one. So absolutely you should speak to Fujitsu, because they're really leading the way in this area. I'm sure we've all sort of seen and understood that customers, SAP customers, have been over the last few years particularly, and are continuing to migrate towards a cloud-based scenario. So you could be forgiven for thinking, well, what's the future for hardware manufacturers? But very much so in this case, because we are seeing, as well as a degree of repatriation, for some parts of SAP landscapes, where customers are bringing some applications back on premises for various reasons. Probably a couple of them along the lines of the manufacturing example I laid out earlier. But Fujitsu very much leading the way on this with SUSE, and this is great because it's kind of reinvigorating this side of it. So very much so, please do talk to Fujitsu about this, because Rancher for SAP Edge integration cell on Fujitsu platforms is very much a thing, and I'm sure Fujitsu would love to talk to any customers about it and try and help them with their needs there.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think now we have answered all questions. Sorry, I had the wrong order in my Q&A. So this is why I missed it. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.